Hi, today I'm going to be looking at something that's been 3 years in the making. The ZX Spectrum Next Kickstarter 2. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by PCBWay.com, manufacturers of fine quality PCBs. Whether your own designs or from the shared community area, you'll be sure to get that ZX Spectrum themed project up and running, with PCBs in a colour scheme to suit you. PCB prototype the easy way with PCBWay.com. Ever since missing out on the first Kickstarter campaign for the ZX Spectrum Next, I'd promised myself that if a second campaign came to fruition, that I'd jump right on it. Then, in August 2020, it came time to live up to my promise, and I backed the campaign with a pledge for an accelerated version. The original estimated delivery was sometime in 2021, but due to a worldwide pandemic causing supply chain issues and a shortage of the FPGA at the heart of the ZX Spectrum Next, the design team ended up having to redesign the board to use a different FPGA, in this case the RTX 7. So with all of this, the project was delayed. With delays well and truly underway, days turned into weeks, which turned into months, which turned into years. Then, towards the end of 2023, I received the good news that the units were on a ship heading from China to the UK. A few weeks later, finally, it arrived. Let's take a look in the box. And behold, the ZX Spectrum Next with Issue 4 motherboard from Kickstarter Campaign 2. My first impressions are the box is great quality and the artwork looks fantastic. Now let's get this thing open. So in here we have the power supply, the various adapters for what country you are in, and a separate on and off inline switch. And then the machine. SD card, your reset drive, NMI switches, the two joystick ports, and on the rear we have the power. What else do we have? Digital video debug, digital video, so HDMI, audio in and out, I suppose for the cassette, USB, a couple of those, VGA, and a keyboard, external keyboard mouse. Put that in there, and then quick start guide, so we'll go through that later, and the beautiful manual. Wow, just like computers used to be supplied in the 80s. The first thing to do before connecting up and powering on the machine is to make a backup of the SD card. The SD slot is not spring-loaded, so you'll just need to pull the card out. It's actually a micro SD card in a Sinclair branded converter. To backup, simply select all the files and folders on the SD card and copy and paste them to a location on your computer. This way, should your SD card ever fail, you can easily copy these files onto a new SD card. The Quick Start Guide covers the connections, of which the bare minimum is power and video. It also warns against connecting any USB peripherals to the port marked with a red X. I'm going to use HDMI, and the power supply should be off when connecting it to the machine. Let's spin this around and connect a joystick. And now let's power it on. Upon its very first power on, the machine boots to a test screen as shown in Figure E in the Quick Start Guide. This is the image with the green border. The machine cycles through the different video modes, waiting for you to acknowledge when you see an image. If you ever need to change this setting, let's say you move from an HDMI TV to a VGA monitor, then you can easily switch the video mode by pressing and holding the reset button and either A for all modes, D for digital, V for VGA, R for RGB, and then releasing the reset button and then releasing the letter. After setting the video mode, you're then greeted with this welcome screen. Pressing enter will take you to the next page, space will start the NextZXOS, and D will disable the welcome screen from being shown again. So in this case, I'll press enter. Here we receive some basic information with regards to what options are available when we boot into NextZXOS. I'll speed up the various screens. Once booted to the NextZXOS menu, you can browse the SD card by selecting the browser from the menu. Selection from the menu can be made by either using the joystick to navigate and the fire button to select, or using the keyboard up and down keys and enter to select, or you can press the key that is shown in blue, so in this case, the B key. The browser is navigated in the same way as the main menu. Now if I navigate to the KS2 Extras located in the root of the SD card, we can find the games that were included in the Kickstarter 2 Extras bundle. Let's try Detour. The file to run this is the one with the extension NEX. Just look at this compared to an original ZX Spectrum 48K game. Simply amazing. Next, I want to try Night Night. Now let's look at a couple of included Next games. You'll find these in the Games folder and then the folder named Next.
Game on!
TX1696 is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. NextZXOS is a great take on the classic Arkanoid brick breaker game. As you can see, there are far too many games to cover right now. So that was just a few of the games which are supplied with the ZX Spectrum Next. But what about the current dev scene and games that are being released now? Well, in previous videos of mine, I've mentioned itch.io as a great resource for modern retro gaming. So let's head on over there now and take a look. And search for ZX Spectrum Next. We can see all of these are available. I've downloaded a few, so let's give them a go. Just before I demo some of these games, I found that the scanline option in the Next setting made the picture look and feel a whole lot more retro on my TV. Access to the settings is achieved by pressing the spacebar during boot when the Spectrum is on the black screen with the Sinclair ZX Spectrum Next logo at the top. Then, with ZX Spectrum Next Standard selected, press the spacebar. I found that setting scanlines to just 12.5% gave the best image on my TV. It may vary for you, so give all the different values a go and see which one works best. Then enter to save. Let's get on trying some of those games from itch.io. Notice how I've placed all of my downloaded games in the home folder. This is recommended in the documentation as this folder remains untouched during any firmware updates. Shovel Adventures is a great game where you have to find the treasures, avoid the bad guys, and dig holes that they may fall in. Collect all the treasures to complete a level. Dougie Doo is a tribute to the classic games of Mr. Doo and Dig Dug. Bikers is a bike race game. The Lost Temples is a great platformer where you play Prince Kaldan, heir to the throne of Azuria, and you have been tasked with reclaiming the Lost Temples. And since it's almost Christmas, the last game that I will show is this festive themed game that is included with the ZX Spectrum Next. So I hope you all enjoyed the ZX Spectrum Next. Please let me know your thoughts about this machine in the comments down below, and also drop a comment down there if you can recommend any game for me to try out. Subscribe for more videos like this. Click here to watch me build a ZX Spectrum 128K clone, and click here for the video that YouTube thinks you will enjoy the most next. Until next time, take care.